Hello friends, welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Meg. I post free hair education every single Monday. And this week I'm going to show you my favorite ways to color hair extensions. Now, when they are brand new blonde hair, I like to get a lot of color pigment into them. So here is my formula. We're going to have 3 bowls. Those are the first 2 formulas. And for the lightest bowl, I just added a little bit more conditioner so that it would just dilute it and make it a little more pastel. So for your standard 3 color melt on brand new extensions, just to go from like darker to lighter, this is how I like to do it, as if I am painting regular hair. Now I have 2 different Hairworks caddies. That is what the hair is on. There's little suction cups in the back. I'm going to show you the other kind in this video, but this one is really great for wefts and it just has longer teeth on it. Now these are tape-ins that I'm using. I just put them between the teeth. And it's a little bit longer than the one with smaller teeth that closes. So that's why I like this one for painting more hair extensions. It's a lot longer, so I don't have to have as thick of a section. I can paint more hair. But first I'm just going through and doing that darkest color on the top and really blending it and feathering it down and making sure that each one is even and about the same length. Because with hair extensions, the ends always tend to pick up color a little bit more than the rest of the hair. So you have to be really careful with the level that you're using on the ends. That's why I like to go a little bit lighter as I make my way down the extensions, because we don't want those ends to grab more color than the top. But I now have my second bowl with the other formula, that mid to ends formula. And sometimes I'll grab my darker one just to make sure that my blend is really good. But you can see how much color I'm applying. If you ever feel like your semi-permanent color is like making too much of that white conditioner and you're worried that you're overworking it, just put more new color on top and I promise you will be fine. But you really want to blend these together and saturate, because with extensions, even when you think you've saturated it enough, most of the time you have not. So you'll really see me going through this over and over again, moving the hair around and making sure that it's all covered. And going through once again with that top color so that they're both blended really nicely together, because we don't want any harsh lines. Now, I really like doing this method, not only for color melts, but just with brand new hair, because I feel like it's going to last a little bit longer than the second method that I'm going to show you. But this way is great if they are not attached to a head. I love these Hairworks caddies and the suction cups, because you can really put them on anything that's glass. And there's also little hooks that you can hang them on stuff. But I find the suction cups work great. And this now is my third color, which was just the mid to ends color with a little conditioner added, so it dilutes it. So it's just a little bit more pastel than the mid, but not much of a difference. Like I said, I just don't want those ends to pick up too much color. And we are just saturating all of this hair. And this is the first method. After this, I just rinse it with ice cold water. And this is definitely going to be like the most standard how to color extensions. But the best part is for sure the caddy. It makes it so much easier when it's hanging like that and not attached to a head. I have definitely tried so many different ways before I found this thing, and it is great. Now, this is also a method you can use on semi-permanent hair color, demi-permanent, and permanent hair color. There are 2 out of the 3 methods that work on all different types of hair color, but the second one I'm going to show you only works on semi-permanent hair color. So if you are trying to use demi or permanent, the next one I'm going to show you after this is not going to work for it. But you can see how much time I'm spending on each section, because I really want to make sure that it's saturated. And I like to comb it through, because then you can really see. And like I said, if you feel like you need to add a little bit more color, you can. You really can't oversaturate when it comes to semi-permanent hair color and extensions. And I just really wanted to make sure that blend was good. Here is the processing. And isn't it crazy how the color doesn't come off on your fingers once it's encapsulated in the hair? All right, and this is what it looked like after I washed it out. So gorgeous. Nice little mini gradient melt, nothing too extreme. Beautiful. And so when she came back with this hair faded, that's when I like to use my second one. We are gonna color an entire pack of extensions with that much color. Yes, that little tiny drop of pink that is Hustler semi-permanent hair color from Danger Jones. Now, the reason I'm using pink is one, her ends are a little blue, which you will see in a second. So if I don't want to have that blue pop out again, I'm going to use pink. So here you go. You can see those ends faded a little blue, almost green. So when you have a little bit of pink added into the blue, you're going to get purple. But she also likes pink, and I knew that the tips would probably look almost iridescent if we get a little bit more of that pink tone. So I was really excited to just use pink instead of a purple color bath. But I am just going to dip that hair just like that. And you can see how quickly I do it. I didn't want to cut away. I wanted you to see how fast this works. Then I move the hair apart, see what parts need to be saturated a little bit more, and I just keep dipping and moving the hair around, wringing it out, and then seeing what needs to be colored, leaving the ends out. The ends pick up so quick, like I was talking about before, but I just keep moving the hair around and keep dipping it. And you'll eventually see the color in the water start to leave, and the color is just like barely there because it's all in the hair. And that little tiny drop is coloring this entire pack of hair extensions. Now, like I said, I like this best for refreshes and pastel colors because it's not going to get as full coverage as the other one. This I made a mess, so I decided to put a towel down. But you're not going to get as deep of a coverage as you would when you paint it. But look at that. It's already so beautiful. We have this gorgeous iridescent lavender pink now. And then I'm just going to keep on combing through, finding any parts that need more color and dipping them into our water. And you can see it's turning less and less pink with every dip and going more pastel because all of that color is getting soaked up into the hair. And here I am again, but you can see just how quickly it works and how beautiful that lavender is. And I just keep moving it around and dipping. And like I said, I didn't want to do any cuts really. I wanted you to see how quick this works because it is just amazing. And that is it. Now we get to blow dry them. I use a little bit of my Leaf and Flower Frizz Remedy Spray and 7-minute blowout along with my heat protection from K18. And then we are just going to blow dry these tape-ins and get them ready for install. So my client that I put these in, she has natural hair color. She's actually in episode 57, and we just add these in because she has natural hair color right now. So it still makes it look like she has fun color in her hair with little purple highlights almost. So you'll get a little glimpse of that. But I just wanted you to see how beautiful this color is with just a quick couple minute dip in that colored water. Like I said, this only works with semi-permanent hair color. This will not work with demi-permanent or permanent. And it's kind of like one of those things when you ask how much color to use that it really kind of depends on the color you're trying to get, the brand you're using, how dark it is. So it's one of those things that you'll kind of have to experiment with, but I absolutely love doing color baths like that for hair refreshes. I even do it on my own head sometimes, literally get a big bucket or pot and just dip my head in it, and I swear it works. But look at how gorgeous that hair is. No more greeny blue, beautiful lavender color. And do you see how using that pink almost makes it look like iridescent? So I knew she was gonna love that, which she did. And you can kind of see I'm using the other Hairworks caddy there. So this is the long one with the open teeth that's really good for wefts. This is shorter teeth and it's easier to grab for tape-in extensions, and it's a lot smaller and it snaps shut. But they both have the suction cups. Here is her extensions installed and some tinsel. So it just looks like she has some beautiful little purple highlights and adds a lot of volume to her hair. So it's great for somebody who doesn't want to add the vivid color to their actual hair and to the extensions instead. Now, here is my third way to color extensions. This is my Drop Dead Hair Extensions color mat. You can buy this on the Drop Dead Extensions website. It is like rubbery. It is so awesome for painting rainbows. So this is my favorite thing when I need to do like a pattern. So if I was to be painting rainbows, which I'm just going to show you a quick 3-color rainbow, I just go through like this and really saturate, going back and forth, up and down, side to side, and then come in with my next one. And as you can see, I have my other hand holding the other hair down. That's just so it doesn't fly up and ruin my section. But I'm just gonna demonstrate a quick little 3-color rainbow here using just primary colors, yellow, pink, and blue. Well, technically red's the primary, but pink is just the pastel version of that. And then you can see that I'll get that little bit of a rainbow in the mid shaft. So cute. So this is a really easy way to do a rainbow also, if you just have those 3 primary colors and just blending them together on top like that. I still like to use my little finger trick where I rub them together with my finger like this, because then you're gonna have a much better blend. And I like to use a comb sometimes if I feel like my section's too fat, and just comb it through like that. But this mat is fantastic whenever you are doing a color like this where you need to have something flat and hard to paint on to get your sections perfect. So anytime I'm doing something like this, a rainbow prism or a pattern or design, I'm going to pull out my silicone mat from Drop Dead. And here I'm kind of changing the pattern of the rainbow in the middle and then going backwards. But this is a super quick way to do rainbows if you don't feel like having 6 bowls of color out, and you can still get that effect with only 3 bowls and using my silicone mat. It's super easy to wash off also. You literally just rinse it. It, bends up into my wash bowl and I can just rinse it off and then roll it back up and store it. So this is my third favorite way. And this one, once again, you can use with semi, demi, or permanent color. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for another tutorial. I hope you learned something, and please like and subscribe to get new free tutorials every single Monday. Here is our beautiful little rainbow extension all dried. So much fun. But I will see you guys next week. Bye.